In this video, I'm going to practice for 15 minutes while narrating my thoughts in real time, in the hopes that you'll come away with some fresh new ideas that you can apply to your own piano practice. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Jonathan, and here at the South Shore Piano School YouTube channel, we're all about providing resources like this to help you make more sense out of the piano learning experience and elevate your practicing to levels that maybe you didn't think were possible. So for this practice session, I'm going to be working on the final page of the Rachmaninoff C minor prelude. I have the music here, but I'm actually going to share my iPad screen so that you can follow along with my thoughts and any annotations that I make in the music. And again, as we go, I'm going to be narrating, speaking aloud what I'm thinking in my head as I'm practicing. All right then, so let's get started. Now, before I hit the 15-minute timer, I always think it's really important to set a very specific goal, because especially with a short amount of time, like 15 minutes, we really want that laser focus so we know exactly what we're targeting and what success looks like so that we can feel good at the end of the practice session. So here's the last page of this prelude, and I have a tendency to overestimate what I can do. I just like the idea of, I can learn the entire last page, but my gut looking at this says that 15 minutes will not be enough time for that. So I'm going to scale back, and let's say we'll consider success if I can get to about here, and I'll even leave that sort of marked in the music so we know where our finish line is, and then also setting a strategy for how we're going to complete that goal. So this is a totally unfamiliar page to me, so my goal for this is going to be getting all the fingerings that I'm going to use, and I'm going to try to get it to a point where I can play it at some tempo with almost complete accuracy. So it's going to have to be very slow, and then my strategy is going to be taking it in very, very small bits. This is pretty dense, so I might even go one measure at a time. And if I'm feeling like anything's overwhelming, I'm going to break it down, do it hands alone, and then put it back hands together. We'll stay laser focused with that as our strategy, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so with that, I've got my timer ready, set, and here we go. So I'm going to zoom in at this beginning. Now, I like to pay attention to what I feel in my gut, and my gut says to kind of run away from these couple measures. That's a lot of notes, it's a lot of rolls. So what I'm probably going to do is let's try two measures, and I'm going to start one hand at a time, starting with figuring out fingerings, what makes most sense. There are a lot of printed ones here, but let's just give it a go. So we got... This is one place I feel like I'll forget fingerings in the moment, so I'm just going to jot a 4-3, even if others might find that a little obvious. Moving on. Now here I'll definitely forget what fingerings I'm going to use. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 1. Let's try the same thing, so we're kind of patterning. No, that's not going to work. 5, 4, 2, 1. Let's try that. 4, 2, 1. And then let's try 3, 1, 2, 1, and then I think 5, 4, 2, 1 will probably work fine here. So I'm going to try that entire two measures. All right, that felt pretty good. I'm going to do the same for the left hand. Here I can use the same fingerings for each one of these, so I'm just going to jot those in as a quick reminder. And I may change this later, but let's see how it goes very slowly here. That was 100% accuracy. That actually went better than I thought it was going to, which has me a bit excited. So now I'll go on to the next. Actually, this next measure looks relatively sparse, so I might be able to just knock that out really quick. So it's mostly the transition here that's a little tricky. So let's say fingering 1, 2... Let's see, 1, 2, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 5. We have pros and cons to each one. I feel like 3 will probably give me a greater chance at accuracy getting to this A flat with 5, so we'll go with that. And then... Yeah, actually I will have have to jot in some fingerings here. So 3, 2, 1, 2, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2. So actually this measure ended up being a little harder than I thought it was going to be. Actually, I think I'll remember that fingering later because it's fairly obvious, at least to me in this moment anyway. So now let's go on to these two measures where it's settling into a bit more of a regular pattern again. And same thing, to overcome my sort of initial overwhelm, I'm going to break it down to hands alone just to make sure I'm feeling good about fingerings. I think that's fairly straightforward, but let me write in a 3, 2, 1, 2, and then 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then we'll have to shift. I'll put a little arrow here to remind me that I'm going to shift there. Put a 5 here, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then for this measure, I feel like I really only have one fingering option that's intuitive. I can't imagine a better one, so I can skip writing that in for now. And let's just see how it goes hands alone first. Alright, so this will be the trickiest part, because I think the only solution I can find right now is 5, 4, 1, 2, 5, 3, 2, 1. And I already know myself enough to know that that's going to cause me problems later, so I'm going to go ahead and do that 3 or 4 times. And again. And again. Let's give it a couple more. And keeping in mind right now I'm just trying to get some fingerings enough that I can play it at a literal snail's pace with some accuracy. Once I build this up to speed, then I'll be doing each of these things like 10, 20, 30 times in a row. So let's go ahead and take these two measures again, and I'm going to start with the right hand. Alright, that feels pretty good. And left hand. So in that moment I felt a little bit of like feeling on this note here, so I'm going to go ahead and put a 3 there to remind me of that. 5, 2, and then 1. Okay, and then let's try it hands together. I'm going to zoom in on that a little bit. Let's try that again. Pretty well, I think. And now just make sure that I'm going to be able to get some continuity, or to see if there are any weirdisms with going from one section to the next. I'm going to remove these other brackets, and I'm going to turn this into one big chunk with everything I've done so far, just to see if I can maintain it. And then I only have 2 measures to go, so I might actually be able to do a little bit more in this session. So let's try it from the very beginning. Oh, low power. Hopefully that lasts to the end of the video. Good. The one place that gave me a little bit of a moment was right here, so I'm just going to mark that in to remind me of that when I come back later. But for now I want to stay laser focused on getting to my finish line here on the next line. So next I'm going to go to these next 2 measures right here. This will be a little tricky to zoom in on just because it's going from one line to the next. But let's give it a try. And actually I'm going to go ahead and try to get to the finish line here. So I'll start with, once again, the right hand, because sight reading this hands together and getting all the fingerings I want to use feels a little overwhelming. So I'll start with the right hand. Okay, so this right here is going to be a bugger, figuring out the best fingering there. So let me take a moment for that. Okay, the only option I can figure out right now, as uncomfortable as it is 5, 4, 3, 1, 5. No, 4 really doesn't work, especially once this is up to speed. It's going to be quite fast, so I just need to keep that in mind as well. Okay, we'll stick with that for now because I really can't think of any other creative solutions at the moment. And because I know this is going to be one of those tricky spots, I'm going to go ahead and do it a few times now. And again. And again. And again. Okay, so now let's try the entire right hand there. Okay, that'll work. Definitely have to work out some fingerings here next. Okay, so once we're here, we've got 3, 2, 1, 2, 5, 3, 2, 1. That seems pretty straightforward. And then we need to, oh, I missed the 8VA here. Okay, because of my little marking. So I'm going to erase that. And I'm going to put a circle around it so I don't miss that going forward. Oh, that makes it much easier. So we got... Okay, so now we can just do 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 2, 1. Okay, and then again, there's my finish line. So I'm going to try that entire right hand next. Okay, that works. And then left hand. Okay, there are probably a few options I can explore here, but the one that feels best right now for fingerings are 1, 2, 5, jump to my 1, which will allow me to reach this octave more comfortably or more reliably. And then 5, 3, 1. Let's give that a try. So we've got... Okay, I think that works. And now very, very slowly, hands together. Oops, I did not do that right. Let me go back. Couple slips there, so I'm going to try it even slower this time. Oh, didn't use the fingering right. I'm going to try it again, even slower. Alright, I'm feeling good about that. I made it to my finish line. It's tempting to go ahead right now, but just to say that I completed the goal I set, because if you remember at the beginning, I said that my goal for this session is to try to be able to play up to that point with 90, I'll settle for like 97% accuracy, given that I just learned this music. But starting from the very beginning, I'm going to try everything that I just learned, putting it all together. I think that was actually 100% accuracy. I'll work on more of the musical phrasing things later, but I'm feeling really good that I hit the goal we set, and I still have 1 minute and 45 seconds or so to go, so I'm going to try to take the opportunity to see if I can get 1 or 2 more measures in. So let's keep this strategy. Seems to be working pretty well. So I'm going to go on into these next couple measures. So I'm coming from here, so fingerings I think are pretty straightforward because there's really kind of only one option or 2 options. Actually, here I'll probably put a 3. And usually when it seems like the fingering's pretty obvious what works the best, I won't write the fingerings in, but when I know I'm going to forget later or be inconsistent, that's when I'll write it in, which tends to be a lot of the time. Alright, I think that works. So let's try. Alright, so about 50 seconds to go. Okay, I'll take that. And left hand. Let's go ahead and try these 2 measures incredibly slowly and see what happens. Oops, no, that's right. Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong octave. Okay, a little bit of work to do, but I'm excited that I got through to that point, and I even got a little bit more learned. I know with confidence I'll be able to get this finished next practice session with 2 seconds to go. If you enjoyed this, please do let us know in the comments below, as well as any questions that you might have or even any other strategies that you like to use in your own practice. And if this has you inspired to do a focused 15-minute practice session yourself, do check out this video for a 15-minute guided practice session with me. I'll see you over there.